Why be the color? I decided to do this because we live in a world full of chaos and noise. We are constantly on our phones. We don't acknowledge the people around us. We've lost touch with everybody in our lives. And we accept the truths of what people say is true. If we see it on social media, we accept it's true. I want people to leave this exhibit thinking, I have to look beyond to see what the color is. I wonder, how do we see through it to discover the truth? It is daunting to think that our perceptions become our reality. I look around and see everyone is so focused on themselves and lacking empathy or knowledge of the world in which they live. Be the Color is a show that will utilize color to tell the truth. Sensory overload and lack of senses inspired the show. I know that is an odd statement, but stop and think about it. We have sensory overload due to all the noise, sights, feelings, and options that surround our lives. We have the lack of senses because we don't stop to examine and appreciate all the details around us. Chicago will always be one of my inspirations in everything I do. Between the skylines and the parks and the amazing art everywhere, this is always going to be an inspiration. When people first walk into the show, they're going to notice the sounds. Our soundtrack for the show is of horns and ambulances, cathedrals and children. It's really life of what Chicago is, and I want to bring that to my show. Floral is my outlet. Most things in my life are based around and because of floral. You will be engulfed in a beautiful garden aroma as you enter the space. I had watched a program showing how yellow light removes color from what it touches, and I was instantly inspired. I knew then that I wanted to create something with that concept. As you enter the room, your sight is dulled because it is bathed in a yellow glow. As you experience the exhibit, you will be the color by shining a white light through the yellow glow to the truth that is exposed. Color is such a huge part of our everyday life. It dictates how we feel, when we stop and go, everything we buy. What happens when we actually take the color out of a room? Are our perceptions still the same? Do we imply that we already know what the color should be? Color is an inspiration that guides our world. Color has so much power, and yet many don't realize it. It dictates when we stop and go, why we purchase items, how we express individuality and our emotions. Be the Color is an exhibit that will shine the light on the truth. Color will provide the narrative, all you have to do is be in it. My ultimate inspiration is the love I have for my daughter, husband, family, and friends. They all provide support and love every day. I think about how I want to be a better human for them. It makes me wonder how we can all make the world better. It took me a while to decide to produce this art exhibit. I had doubts about the show and my vision for it. I wondered, would anyone care to see it? Can I make it happen? And why do it? It took a lot of self-reflection and self-care to realize I need to do this for me. I want to express my views in my art, so Be the Color was born. I hope some things come from deciding to not only produce the exhibit, but also have it become a documentary. First, I hope people stop and think about the message and take something from it. Everyone can be the color if they choose to be. Second, I hope someone out there who has a project they want to do, but are hesitant because of self-imposed doubts, will stop and realize, if Adam can do it, why can't I? We are our own worst stop sign. We need to stop being red and start being green. The cross is so much more. Installation is based on the cross. When we all think of the cross, we think sacrifice, love, compassion. We also think masculinity. In this art exhibit, you're going to realize we flip that all on itself. When you turn a light on and you be the color, you'll realize the cross is actually pink. And if you look closer, you're going to realize it's building blocks on top of each other. It's not one structure. And then look a little bit closer into the exhibit and you realize the paint is actually different shades of paint worked into itself to represent all the different type of women out there. This is actually dedicated to my daughter and all the amazing women in my life and out there in the world. As you view the cross, you'll notice that it's all different types of blocks building one strong unity. Then you shine your light onto the cross and you become the color, realizing it's beautiful shades of pink ombreing all the way down, representing the many different types of women in the world. As you come down to the ground, you will notice the ombre effect cross on the ground reflected. In my mind, that is that women should reflect on themselves and realize how beautiful and powerful they truly are. As you look closer at the installation, you will notice the pew is behind the cross and not facing the front of the cross. It is my little play on standing behind women and not in front of them. Then we go into the flower pattern. It was really important for us to follow the same ombre effect with the flowers, starting from the hot pink in the center and building our way up, giving the same effect as the cross. The crown is one of our favorite things. Every woman should wear a crown proudly and know their placement in life and how strong they are. Baby blanket and the glasses, showing that we should support our women from the moment they are born until old age. And then if you look at the other side, that is actually a list of names of females who have changed my life, who have influenced who I am, and who I value extremely in my life. The floral is comprised of various florals and shades of pinks and full of beauty. The garden represents growth, community, beauty, and peace. Overall, I could not have done this exhibit without honoring women in my life. I surround myself with amazing women who make a difference daily and continue to inspire me to be a better person. This is dedicated to all the women who have walked, continue to walk, and will walk on this planet. The symbol of the cross is so powerful. As I think of a cross, I think of strength, love, sacrifice, belief, and compassion. These are all components I think of when I think of the amazing women in this world. I also think a cross is seen by most as inherently masculine. That component I do not see myself. However, you will learn quickly I love to play with symbols and twist them into my own vision.
And I think once we do it, you'll be able to come back through and make them match with the finishing.
Yeah, I think it looks really good.
Because then maybe my next one might have 3 buds and yours on 2 or something. So. Do you want some glue dots to hold these down, or do you have big glue tabs?
To hold what down?
The plexi.
Like you can put a glue down, but line them up here so it doesn't look like there's just a glue down here.
No, I'm sorry, Sam.
My feelings weren't hurt. You can't hurt my feelings.
I don't want Angie, feel bad.
I mean,
Just walk over and get me, go to Paris and bring me back to room set.
no.
I would be happy to do that.
I loved it, wasn't what I was expecting, and you really have to see it to understand it.
Didn't really know what we were gonna, walk into, right? So it was just cool. It still blows my mind how it's done, so it's really cool to see.
The grass isn't always greener, or is it? We grow up listening to that saying, the grass isn't always greener. That is a construct that is built to keep us in our lane. We don't look past the other side. We stay where we're at. We stay in relationships that we don't want to be in. We stay at jobs that we don't want to have. We stay put because we are told the grass isn't always greener. The construct is bullshit. We should always look past the fence and see what is on the other side. We should aim for our happiness, not the happiness that the others dictate for us. So yes, the grass isn't always greener, but on the other side it's blooming and brighter. As you view this installation, you will notice the fence separates yourself from the blooms on the other side. Take a closer look at the side of your fence. Look down at your feet and notice the empty floral pots that have been broken, symbolizing all the bad things such as relationships, partners, jobs that you stay in longer than you should because the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Then I hope you look back over the fence and realize the grass isn't always greener because it may be blooming with possibilities that you've not seen. The background is painted simply as a house and a tree, something like we would do as a child. We also have all of the colored pencils and crayons on the ground, showing that as a child, possibilities are endless. The reason I scattered them on the ground after that was that's how we give up. We end up just giving up because we're told the grass isn't always greener, so we give up and stay put, and we're frustrated and we throw it all on the ground. When you become the color, you realize possibilities are endless. I chose bold versus soft colors because to cross over the fence, it is a bold decision. All you need is to shine the light and you realize that your future is very bright and you should step across the fence to the other side. Don't stay put. Don't stay where you're at. Go see what is out there. If I had never looked to the other side, I would have stayed in that world. My life would not have become so full. Being someone who took the blinders off and looked for a better world has made me the man I have become. No, but you didn't paint anymore. Is what none are drying.
No, none are drying.
Okay.
The home kind of picture, it was kind of like almost like dead, and then with the color it was like this colorful, beautiful place to live.
I was blown away by the whole black and white experience, and then yeah, I'm not quite sure how he pulled it off, but he executed it nicely, beautifully.
Yeah.
And then the lights just kind of just wow, it's really awesome. I didn't even know that such a thing was even possible.
The installation Affect Someone Today and Every Day is inspired by the fact that I don't think we stop and look at the struggles of people around us. When did kindness become a luxury? When did we stop helping people? This installation is based around the ladders, which in my mind is the concept of helping each other rise up to be the best that we could possibly be. The simplest gesture of kindness, either verbal or action, can change the life of people around you. We need to start building each other up and not tearing each other down. Nothing symbolizes a helping gesture to me more than a ladder. The ladder helps you get to where you need to be. It gives you the strength and ability to achieve higher places. This exhibit contains multiple ladders. At first you may notice the ladders looking abstractly placed with floral accents, but take a closer look as the light shines and you be the color. The small ladder on its back on the floor has dark, ominous colors within it. This part of the installation symbolizes the despair of the ladder laying down and dark floral, but yet hope always blooms within a bright future. As you continue to examine the installation and shine light, you will notice the ladders continue to not only rise up and gain height, but also change in color. As the viewer looks from bottom to top, the color of the floral continues to lighten in shades until it reaches the top of the ladder into a full display of yellow. The color change symbolizes the path from dark to light, from despair to happiness. We can help each other rise. When did we stop looking away from the world? Is kindness a luxury? Do we see others and their struggles? These are questions that I tend to think about as I watch society.
You don't fall and I have to try and catch you. This is much better than that though.
Go on that side and just grab it
Through here?
Yeah. No, let's take it through there.
What it is, it almost looks like one continuous piece.
Oh, good.
Like, so by the time you put that top one on, it kind of just looks like it's one huge piece.
A kind word or action can change the day for someone else. There have been those in my life who showed a bit of humanity when I needed it most. I doubt they realized the impact they had on my life. And to be honest, the kindness came at times when it pulled me from the brink of darkness. I want some of this just kind of cascading out of it, and so we can take that out and spray it all yellow.
Okay. Because the big stuff just breaks so easy.
Mm-hmm.
But you've been using the bigger gel.
I wasn't trying.
Because I think that we should cut them like right at. We don't want this one super heavy.
No.
I think what it did, it got heavy and it flipped over.
Yeah.
We got the same samples, right?
Yes.
What color do you want?
Yeah, because
lime green. I'll take the green. So he's not worried about me. He says to me, don't get it on the floor. Stop it.
What would be hilarious is if you could Photoshop my hand out.
Yeah, it makes a difference. Oh, that looks so nice.
Once I dry brushed instead of wet brushed, it's much better.
You can see the colors through it now. It does make a difference.
Yeah.
Did you dry brush this?
Yeah.
You did not.
She wet brushed it.
Do you know what dry brushing is?
No, what are you? You're doing the same thing I am. You're dipping it in the paint.
But I'm going with it, and I'm doing a very little paint, and I'm just fluffing. I'm just rubbing it over. So
that looks just like mine did.
but that's going to be edited.
It was like visually calming to my brain. I loved, I was just in shock when I saw all the color.
It was amazing. I mean, walking in there, I had no idea that there was actually color there. And then when we finally got the flashlights, it just lit up the room. So, amazing job, I thought. It was really fun.
As you enter the exhibit, you will notice the chaos of paper swirling as if it was thrown away and a sudden wind picked them up. At a closer look, you will notice the source of chaos is a computer screen. You will notice that the advertisements create a cyclone effect, representing that we are just bombarded with what we think we need to be, until we realize all of this is garbage and we need to be truly who we are inside. The movement of paper feels alluring to the viewer and it starts to pull you in. On closer inspection, the realization is that the advertisements from a magazine showing you what they want you to be, when you want travel and cosmetics and what you should look like. But when you become the color, you realize the pages become even more alluring. The mind wants those things. We spend more time looking at the crumpled paper, even though they appear to be thrown away garbage. There is something very addictive by seeing the colorful images, even though they are crumpled up. We know this is garbage, but we cannot help ourselves for wanting what is in those pages. The pages come to life with color and they entice you even more. There are so many factors assaulting us daily, causing us to self-doubt, self-critical, wonder why we can't live up to what we think we should. Find the strength in yourself and believe the supportive and amazing inner voice we all have. Leave the negativity behind. Know that outside factors are not all bad, they just need to be filtered. Once we do that, we are free to focus on changing the world and not ourselves to fit a mold.
We were trying to figure it out before he gave us the flashlights.
Yeah,
like,
it was really weird. Like when I walked in there, I was looking at him. I was like, "It's in like black and white. Like everything was black and white." And it took me a second to register, but once I got it, it was awesome.
I mean, I really felt like the different exhibits gave you plenty of room to think about, you know, how you interpret it, and it was really interesting to talk to the artist too about his interpretation.
Who are you? Do you know who you are? Do you judge yourself by other people's perspectives? Is your life based on what you see all around you? I have spent most of my life comparing myself to everyone and everything around me. filled with such self-hate, wanting to be better than I was, more successful, more talented, thinner, smarter, even straighter at one time. We compare ourselves to everything to try to be that, but when do we look inside and realize that we are enough just how we are? We're told to love ourselves, but do we honestly even know what love yourself means? As you walk towards the mirror, you will notice it's engulfed in beautiful white floral. The installation is ethereal in nature. As you step in front of the mirror, the first thing you notice is the orchids and roses that surround the mirror. Around the frame of the mirror are questions that we should be asking ourselves. Who are you? Have you helped someone? Are you better? What have you done? Are you real? These questions, when answered honestly, will create a better world for us all. As you be the color, the first thing noticed will be the lack of color within this installation. This is the only installation done in all white. Look at your reflection and notice that you are the only color within the exhibit. You are the color that causes change in the world. Within yourself is all you need. Find all the goodness you possess and share it with the world. No one can dull your colors unless you allow them to. Color has guided this whole experience, and color has the ability to change our perceptions. But remember, you have the ability to change perceptions. If you stand in the perfect spot, you will see the halo surrounding you that I created to remind us all that we have greatness within. All of the ethereal floral draping around you, engulfing you as the color. If you look in the mirror, it'll line up to be a halo. Do you know why we're using these? Why? Because it was Grandma's favorite flower, carnations.
Oh, really?
And so that's why it's being used. So they just go in random spots and just like put them into the greens. Because it's supposed to look like ethereal, like
an angel aura?
Yeah, when you look in the mirror, then you have this glow about you.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense then. It's a little gentle.
And then some have to go in and around the mirror too. What's the carnation for the rest of the whole brand?
I don't think that was enough.
Oh, it looks a little too much to begin with.
That's okay.
Without color, the world seems one note and dull. You have the ability to bring joy and excitement to the world. Without color, there is a sense of hopelessness. You have the ability to give hope. You are the color. My hope for you is that when you look at your reflection at your true self, you will see a person who celebrates all females with love and honor and fights for their rightful place in this world. I hope you realize the grass can oftentimes be greener and you owe it to yourself to see what is on the other side. I promise you will be amazed. A small gesture of support and generosity has the power to not only lift one person, but it can lift the whole world. After all, kindness will build us all together. At last, I hope you look at yourself and see you are the color. You are the one who has the courage to help change the world for all females. You are the one who deserves happiness whatever path you take. You are the one who sometimes needs a hand and is someone who will often lend a hand. You are the one who has value beyond imagination. You are the one and true color. So I ask you, be the color.